I don't want anything. What is really happening to you? Sometimes it feels like this. When you wake up in the morning and inside there is nothing, you look at your to-do list and you don't want to do any of it. You open your phone, you close it, and even rest doesn't bring relief. And one thought keeps running in your head. I don't want anything at all. If you recognize yourself, you are not alone. This state really exists, and it has a name: apathy. This is the moment when a person loses drive, motivation, interest, and any desire to do things. And it is important to understand. It is not just a mood, and it is not just laziness. There are reasons for this state, and there are three main ones. The first and most common one is burnout. The second is loss of self-belief that many people experience. And the third, more serious and clinical one, is depression. It is less common, but it must not be ignored. And the most dangerous thing is, they all look the same from the outside. Why this happens on burnout? Let's understand it. Burnout is not just tiredness. It is a state where a person loses the ability to stay engaged in what they are doing. And this happens because of constant anxiety. Not one time, not situational, but constant, always present inside. And over time, it gets stronger and starts to look like depression. What are the symptoms of burnout? First, apathy. That feeling of I don't want anything, not even bad things, not even good things. Second, anhedonia. When you no longer feel pleasure from things you used to love. For example, you used to enjoy training. Now you don't care anymore. Walks used to make you feel alive. Now they feel empty. Even intimacy that once mattered no longer creates any response. Cognitive decline. Your memory starts to fail. Your attention becomes weak. Words sometimes get stuck. Thoughts become heavier and slower, as if your brain is not working at full power. Fourth, negative thoughts. And they are not directed at the world. They are directed at you. Notice this. A person in burnout rarely says, the job is bad. They say, I can't handle it. I'm not good enough. Something is wrong with me. And these thoughts affect sleep, eating, and overall well-being. Why this is not just tiredness. Normal fatigue is when you are simply tired. From too much work, you rest and you recover. Burnout is different. It does not come only from workload, but from the anxiety that follows it. Where does this anxiety come from? A person sets certain standards for themselves, often very high ones, to feel important, to feel enough, to meet expectations. But the problem is, these standards are not always realistic. And then constant tension appears. What if they judge me? What if I'm not competent enough? What if I let people down? Especially for people who work with people, where judgment is felt even stronger. And this constant anxiety leads to burnout, because it is not enough to just be tired. You also have to worry all the time. What to do about burnout? First of all, don't let it develop if possible. But if you are already there are solutions. First, make your standards realistic. If you expect 200% from yourself, it is only a matter of time before you break. No matter how much you are paid, no matter who your boss is, no matter how hard you try, energy base, you cannot function without fuel, sleep, food, movement. This is not optional. It is necessary. Like a car without gas, you simply won't move. Work with your thinking. The way you think directly affects your state. Reading, meditation, cognitive behavioral techniques. All of this helps you build a healthier mindset. Understanding meaning. You need to know not only what you are doing, but why you are doing it. Without purpose, there is no value. Without value, everything feels empty, and even a very successful person can feel like nothing if they don't see meaning in what they do. If burnout has already happened, review your tasks. Be honest. Is everything you do really your responsibility? Often people take on work that does not belong to them, and then they break down. Rest. Sometimes you don't need a day off. You need a real break. Vacation. Change of activity. Transfer to another role. Even within the same company, a change of role can help. Professional help. A psychologist or psychotherapist can give you tools to handle anxiety. And we remember, anxiety is at the core of burnout.